So we can continue here on the pace line selection screen. Okay, each line is going to show you the date, race number, track condition, distance, surface, and we've updated here a little bit more on the horse's past performance line. The main benefit of using this software is that it is taking into account track-to-track adjustments, so it helps you with shippers. It takes in distance calculations, makes adjustments for the speed of the track using the variant, daily track variant, all based on pars. We have a unique algorithm that's built into the program that is going to do all of these adjustments for you. EAR stands for early ability rating, LAR stands for late ability rating, TAR stands for total ability rating, which is just basically adding up the early and the late. Now, each of these pace lines is coming from different, these are the same. The last 4 races from the same track, but I had a horse over here at Gulfstream Park West, all at different distances. What we've done here is we have adjusted all of these pace lines to be 1 mile at Gulfstream Park today. So whatever the horse ran over here, this would be the equivalent early, late, and total of what today's distance would be, even though this was a 7 furlong race, this was a 7 furlong race, these were 6 furlong races. The reason this has been incorporated into the program is we're looking to find what the horse's usual pattern is. So there is no real out of whack early rating, if you will, for this horse. The last 3 starts at 7 furlongs, a mile, and 7 furlongs. The early rating has been 76, 76, and 77, so this is pretty consistent. The total is 151, 155, 162 is not that great of a swing, but this is indicative of the horse's usual running ability. Percent medium is a calculation that uses the first and second fraction divided by the total energy, which is first, second, and third fraction, measuring energy distribution throughout the course of the race. And again, this is a number that's been adjusted for the 1 mile distance today at Gulfstream Park. And again, we're looking to see if there is any great deviation, and that would help you not use a pace line that's not indicative of a horse's current ability. These are the fractional times as pulled from the data file with the beaten lengths. Again, this first call, second call, finish time, beaten lengths, first call, beaten lengths, second call, beaten lengths at the final. This is the speed rating from the data file, and this is the variant from the data file, and the run style is determined by where the horse's beaten lengths were from the first call position. Now, you have the option, if you disagree with the horse's run style, you can select what you think it would normally be. So E would be early, like a front runner. EP is an early presser, a horse that has some early ability but is content to sit off the pace. Presser is usually within 2 to 5 lengths of the lead, and the sustained is your closer. Default will stay whatever the run style says over here. Also, you have the ability to modify the fractional time. So if you had some records that showed that the course was maybe playing a little bit faster than usual and wanted to adjust the time, you can do that with the fractions. You can change it to whatever you want it to be based on what your internal adjustments are and hit enter. And now the program will recalculate these fractions based on what you have entered. Conversely, if you are taking trip notes, if you're a visual handicapper and believe this horse encountered some trouble and the effort should be upgraded or downgraded due to a bias or whatever your notes are saying, you have the option to also change the beaten lengths. And just by clicking in the box, making your changes, and pushing enter, it will save those changes. We've already added that pace line. So if we do another one over here, again, we'll change the run style. We'll change the time some. And we'll change some of the beaten lengths. If you're working off this screen and a horse has been scratched, click on the tab and click the X. That will remove the horse. You'll also need to X out any first-time starters or foreign horses that don't have any North American pace lines, as they will not be able to be rated no matter what you see here. Once we've selected the pace lines that we wish to use, and then we can hit calculate race, and then this race will be in our retrieve section and then can be pulled up the same way, either retrieval or printout. Okay. This screen has been expanded since version 1. We have added a few different factors, and we've added a more comprehensive score. Just to go left to right over here, the post number is found here, the horse name is found here, the run style is listed here. This is the velocity of the first fraction, velocity of the second fraction, velocity of the third fraction. Average pace is calculating velocity of the first 3 fractions. Early pace is measuring the velocity up to the second call. Sustained pace is measuring velocity from the early pace and third fraction. The ES difference is this a simple mathematical equation subtracting the early from the sustained, and this is kind of showing you who's going to run a more balanced and even race. If you have a horse that has a higher number here, this would most likely be a front runner, and then a lower number is more indicative of a horse that has a little bit more closing ability. FX is factor X, which is an average of the first and third fraction. TTS is turn time strength, and what this is taking the factor X, which is taking the first and third fraction again, and it's balancing it with the early pace time and telling you if this is a legitimate number or not. This is a very powerful factor in testing. Hidden energy is called that because most people looking at speed or rating early speed and not looking at what a horse is doing in the second and the third fraction, and this is an average of the second and third fraction. The decel is measuring the deceleration of the horse from the second call, early pace time, until the finish. Lower the number, slower the horse is decelerating, again showing who has finishing ability and who does not. And then percent medium is again measuring out how much energy has been expounded by the second call in the race. The incremental split breakdown appears here, and the scoring is just simply ranked on a high to low here for average, early, sustained, factor X, turn time strength, hidden energy, total energy, which is adding up these 3 velocity rankings, deceleration again from least to greatest, purse value of the remaining contenders you selected, and the class rating. All these scores are added up, and it's kind of like golf. The lower the number, the higher the score. Horses that come up in the top 3 are usually the ones that you'd want to be looking at for your race selection. On the next screen, next page of the printout is going to show us our early and late pace ratings. And these numbers are skewed just by the manual. Must have hit a wrong button over here. This is abnormally high, but this screen is going to be broken down by the total ability rating. Higher number is going to appear on top. If you have more than 5 horses in your contender mix, the top 5 early and top 5 late numbers are going to be bolded. And then to kind of give you a visual breakdown of how every horse is going to run, we break down the total numbers by run style here. The next video is going to show you how you can start keeping records and models of tracks that you handicap.